Podcast City Network.
Keep up with the latest shows and content from Podcast City Network over on podcastcity.net. Follow them on facebook.com/Podcast City Network, Twitter @PodcastCityNet. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Podcast City Network, and on Twitch, Podcast City Network. Podcast City Network, your top source for independent podcasting. Be creative, be yourself.
Whether it's a sticker for your car, a t-shirt for that special someone, or a neck garter to keep safe during COVID-19, Podcast City Network has you covered. Grab the latest PCN gear today at podcastcity.net/shop to show your support for your favorite show or shows from Podcast City Network today. Want to start a podcast? Trying to grow your current show? Podcast City Network is here to help. We currently offer services for social media advertising, marketing, live stream hosting, custom logo design and branding, transcript services, custom intro and outro videos, audio-video editing, press kits, one-on-one consultants, and much more. So don't wait. Contact us today. podcastcity.net/services. Head over to the website, fill out the form, get in contact with Podcast City Network. Have you ever wanted to start a podcast but didn't know how? Do you already have a podcast but you don't know how to grow it? Are you trying to find ways to make your podcast profitable? You can learn how to do it here at Podcast City Network. We offer consultant services, tutorial classes to help with learning to better expand your knowledge to grow your show. We also give access to our network of shows to help with cross-promotions, guests, and overall reach while becoming a part of our ever-expanding PCN community based on people helping people. The best part is no membership fee. So what are you waiting for? Fill out the contact form below right here over on podcastcity.net/join now and sign up today. Podcast City Network, your top source for independent podcasting. Be creative, be yourself.
The Everett Lee Show.
Welcome, everyone, to the Everett Lee Show. I'm the Everett Lee. I want to give a shout out to everyone that follows me on social media and, of course, Podcast City Network, the official host of the Everett Lee Show. I have a great guest on the program today. He's long overdue for coming back on the Everett Lee Show. It's been almost 2 years now. I want to welcome back to the program host of Wrestle Popcast, host of Horror Pop After Midnight, and you can catch him interviewing the talent from Future Great Wrestling, FGW, every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on FGW YouTube channel. I want to welcome back to the podcast none other than Robyn Nelson. What's up?
Hey, 2 years has been too long.
It has. It has. It's been too long, dude. Man, I swear. I think the last time I talked to you was last year, right at the beginning of the pandemic. That's the last time I talked to you because.
Oh yeah, scary COVID. I was like abducted by aliens for a while too. That's why I was off the grid.
Yeah, that was the last time I talked to you. I think we did a live podcast. We did a live show, and that night, man, people started jumping in. It's like, oh, shit, Everett Lee and Robyn Nelson together? Oh, man, I think we stopped time there for a minute. What do you think?
Who knows? Maybe we'll have a show in the future. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows? I know, is your phone still blow up by David C. Russell?
Who?
David C. Russell.
What? What?
Yeah. Does your phone still blow up?
Oh, poor David. He's not here to defend himself.
Of course. Of course. Well, at least I'm not like Damian Saint where I get pictures of him with Starbucks cups all the time. As Ripper Blackheart said on a previous podcast when I had him on with Damian Saint, it's like Ripper suggested that David has only one cup and he goes back for refills.
Hey, I work with Ripper every Friday night at Future Great Wrestling. Ripper's a good guy, but you don't want to get on his bad side, though, man. It's a whole different world.
I can imagine, man. I can imagine. I feel for you even working for the guy. I got to rib him, man. I got to go rib him.
I can't picture Damian Saint going to a Starbucks. Hold on. Let me picture that. Damian Saint, Starbucks. No, I can see him going to a local Speedway and getting a cup of coffee.
yeah, that's more him. But David C. Russell sending pictures to Damian Saint with him with the Starbucks all the time. That's
Hey, Damian's a trip. I've been talking to that guy in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't talked. Well, actually, he came down here to Daytona Beach. He was on vacation, and he hit me up. He said, "You live in Daytona, don't you?" I was like, "Yeah." So we met up, him and his wife, and my wife and my 4-year-old, and we went out to eat, and we chilled, we talked, we BS'd. It was great, and it's on. I put it on the Everett Lee Show Facebook page, and it's.
I'll definitely have to check that out. Yeah. When Damien used to come into town, because he used to do shows for Battle on the Border, he would always come into town and stay with me, so he wouldn't have to pay for a hotel or anything. So when he came in town, we would go to the show together, and then after that we'd get like a bite to eat. Yeah, he's a good dude.
That's awesome. And didn't you guys hang out one year at All In or All Out in Chicago?
No, it was the very first All In show in Chicago before All Elite Wrestling ever was today. It was the first ever All In show, man. It was good. Yeah. Damien lives in Chicago, so yeah, we met him, me and my friend David, who goes by David Barnabas Spector. He's all over the United States making the name for himself. If you get everybody check him out, David Barnabas Spector of Darkness Worldwide. But Damien's from Chicago, so we all met at the Tilted Kilt. It was pretty fun.
Oh, nice. Tilted Kilt. Oh, hell yeah. I ran into a couple of those girls at the Orlando Comic Convention, the MegaCon in Orlando back in 2016, I think it was. Yeah,
I heard that Orlando MegaCon is a nice convention. I need to definitely go check that out. That I heard that's pretty fun, because I'm a big convention gore geek. I'm everywhere.
Oh yeah. You definitely need to check that out, because it was awesome. It was awesome that year I went. They had a lot of good stuff there. They also had I think it was, who was it I met the one guy who played Barry Allen's sidekick on The Flash. I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. The scientist.
No,
was it
not the scientist. It was damn. What the heck's his name? He it's been forever since I watched The Flash.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can see the picture.
Yeah, I'm wanting to say Carlos, but it's not. He has the long hair.
Yeah, it's Carlos. His real name's Carlos. Yeah, that's Carlos. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I met him. I talked to him briefly, and I told him at that time I was doing a podcast talking about Flash and Arrow, the Arrowverse, and he's like, "Oh, cool! I'll have to check it out." Yeah. So I shared a couple of pictures on the on my Instagram. I think I still got them on there. I haven't been on there forever.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, COVID was horrible for a while. For the whole year, there was no conventions, and same with wrestling. So for Future Great Wrestling, so I was having, oh my gosh, convention withdrawals, pro wrestling withdrawals. It felt like the world was coming to the end. And then when 2021 came around, all of a sudden you see all these conventions. So I had to go out and boom, So the last convention I went to was Lexington Comic Con. to go meet Stephen Amell, who was Arrow. I've met him like several times, but he has this show, called Heels, where he owns a wrestling federation. It's about him and his brother feuding and all that, and it's a great show. Everybody needs to check it out, Heels. But the name of the promotion is Duffy Wrestling League. So I was like, something, I'm going to get me a DWL shirt. They haven't been made except if you saw them on the TV show.
Right.
So I went up to my friend Nick Cole, who's my co-host on Horror Pop After Midnight. Her husband is a tattoo artist and also like a graphic designer. I was like, hey, do you think you can make me a DWL shirt? And he's like, sure. So he made me this cool, Duffy Wrestling shirt. So I wore it. So when I went to Stephen Amell, he just lit up, man. He's like, dude, that is such a cool tee, man. He's like, I've never seen one of those before. And I go, well, because it's a one of a kind. And he started laughing. And then when we got our picture taken, he was pointing at the arrow in the picture. Like, this is a cool shirt. So when I was leaving after I met Steven, all these, wrestling fans and Stephen Amell fans are like, where'd you get that shirt? I want to get it. And I was like, sorry, it's one of a kind.
That's cool about conventions, because you could show up with one of a kind stuff and people it gets like they draw you in, and you meet so many connections with so many people too. Whoa, where'd you get that shirt at? Oh man, that's cool. I like to get a shirt like that. Nope, man, it's one of a kind.
Now, hey, before we got on the air, didn't I tell you, watch, you're going to see people with DWL shirts pretty soon. You watch, you're going to be everywhere.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You should have left him his contact information so he could get a hold of him, man. He could have, did something for Amell, man. Make some T-shirts.
Yeah, I should have, but yeah, man, that was just wild. Everybody just loved that DWL shirt, and I'm so happy it's getting renewed for a second season.
Yeah. Season 1 was pretty damn good. Who was your favorite character on there? Who was your favorite?
My favorite character on the whole show? Oh man, I'm gonna have to say his brother. I loved his brother. He was a cocky little, arrogant little thing, man. I mean, I think he stole the show, but him and his name was Ludwig, who was from Vikings. But him and Steven had that great chemistry, man.
Yeah.
They played off each other good, like if they were like really brothers,
Mm-hmm.
I just loved his character because he's cocky, arrogant. He thought he should be the champion, not his brother. And then he goes off and says, well, screw this. I'm going to go to the other federation down in Florida, to try to make a name of myself.
Yeah.
And the greatest heel move ever was when Stephen Amell, showed up, Ace showed up right in the ring and like beat up on the promoter, man. That was a classic heel move. I could see MJF doing something like that.
Oh yeah. I love that because he was right there. And he kicked his ass. He did what needed to be done because that guy was running his mouth so much about. Yep. Taking out the league and all this stuff, and oh yeah, Ace, you're gonna be my champion. He's gonna carry the belt for a few months. He's gonna drop it.
Yeah, that's for Florida.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna ruin for anybody who saw it, but the last episode of the season, oh my god, that was a twist. I didn't think it was gonna go that way. How it ended.
Yeah, I didn't think it either. It was gonna end like that, happen like that. My favorite character, believe it or not, was Wild Bill.
Oh, Wild Bill, where he was like naked on the airplane and showed his genitalia.
That reminded me of Ric Flair, dude. That reminded me of Ric Flair. That's why I loved it so much. Oh, yeah, that was on Dark Side of the Ring, and you had those scared stewardesses like, I love that, man, because they give him that toy belt. And, he didn't want to promote it. He did not want to promote that. And he's like, this is a fucking joke. And he pretty much, just was like, all right, I can't stand this. So he goes in there and he kills all those shots, and he comes out just with the robe wearing that. That was great.
Picture you being a pro wrestler working in WWE. All of a sudden you see Ric Flair taking his robe off, and you see everything. You're like, what?
Hey, bad publicity, sometimes is good. But look what happened, man. And him and what the heck's her name? That was the producer for DLW. They had a history there too.
Oh yeah, they had it. Yeah, they had a great history. It was like a love-hate thing, because she was married, but he was still there, and her husband was such a little priss, though.
Yeah, he was. It's like you could tell back when she was younger with Wild Bill, she had a wild streak, and she pretty much settled down. And I think that's probably what she wanted, because it's like a lot of people, they have that wild, part of them. And then when they get to a point in their life, they're like, okay, now I got to leave that behind me, and I got to move forward and do this and grow up, basically. And that's what she did.
But she's still a badass, though, too, man. Since she's still running with Duffy Wrestling League, she's like, like one of the head workers. Why, Ace is like writing all the stories, for, to make a good wrestling show.
Jack.
Yeah, Jack. Yes.
Yeah, Jack's the one writing it, and then the valet, she was pretty good, man. She was great,
dude. She was awesome, man.
Yeah,
her and that trampoline in her front yard, man.
Who has not done that before on the trampoline in the front or backyard?
Yeah, wrestling, giving each other clotheslines, trying to do a backflip without breaking your neck.
Of course. And then they're like, that's the thing with like backyard wrestling that I think is unsafe, for the fact that they get a trampoline, they get out there, and they start doing all the stuff they imitate, they see out on TV. Yep. Oh yeah, I can do this, and then they do the little trampoline matches and stuff, and untrained.
Yeah.
And a lot of workers I've talked to over the last couple years, backyard wrestlers, no, would not get in the ring with at all. I'm sure you've heard the same thing where you're at with FGW about backyard wrestling.
Oh yeah, we don't even mention that. That's just a joke.
It is. It's a joke, I can see if you're playing around and stuff, but then you get these backyard leagues. It's like, what the heck? They got the cardboard belts and everything, and it's like, if you really want to do it, go see a trainer. Go see someone to train you.
Yeah, and you find out to see if you have it or not. I took a training class with Cody. I didn't tell you this. Yeah, I took one to see what it'd be like, to take a bump and to hit and run ropes. I'm telling you, man, dude, that whole mat is hard. Hard, especially like when you fall back, where you chin in, get back up, or running the ropes. When I was running the ropes, I had so many whelps on my side right here and stuff. Oh my gosh. I couldn't even walk. I was walking like a crippled old man because I wasn't used to the cardio.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cardio when you're working out in a wrestling ring too, man. It's, it's not all about bumps and hits. That cardio will tear you up too.
I finally took a I took a bump in the ring this year. I finally did.
How'd you feel it?
I ended up, what I did was got in there and had a vet explain it to me, everything, tuck your chin,
Yeah, and when you fall back, you fall back like this, and you hit your hands down like that, like this.
Yeah. Yeah, just like that.
With your chin in, you keep your chin, because I learned that the hard way. I didn't tuck my chin all the way, and I bit my tongue and it started bleeding. Ooh. Cody's like, you're bleeding. I was like, oh crap, because I did it wrong. And then after that, I got the hang of it, and then you taught me running the ropes, You run with the left, back and forth, and back. Yeah.
I that first one, I was like, wow, I did it wrong, of course. And then I did it again, and I was like, oh, okay. And they're like, you're going to be feeling it in the morning. So there I am, helping them clean up, wrap up, at the end of the show. And he came up to me, the same guy, and he said, hey, as long as I've been in the business, how old are you? And I said 43. And he's like, you took that bump like nothing. And it's like most like 18, 20-year-olds, as soon as they hit, they're like, I took it. I was like, first time, I'm like, oh, that didn't feel right. I was like, let me do it again. They're like, you would do it again? I'm like, yeah, let's do it again. I want to get this right. All right. So did it, got there and, like out.
Yeah.
And
so when you did it make you start off on the rope and then let go and fall? Or did you like stand up and then, chucked it and then went boom?
Yeah.
Cody had me start on the rope first to get the hang of it, starting low. And then and I did it and I got up and did the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. And Cody looked at me. He's like, something, Robyn? He says, the guys in the locker room already respect you. And I go, I wasn't doing it for respect. I was doing it for me. You know what Cody said to me? He goes, Robyn, that took balls. I was like, thank you. And Cody Hawk, man, is the best in the wrestling business. He's been around the business for like 25 years. He's wrestled everywhere. Also, a real big promotion, HWA, Heartland Wrestling Association.
Yes.
He's trained, like John Moxley, Eli Drake, Sammy Callahan, Braxton Sutter, of course, the daughter of a, 1,000 faces, Shauna Reed, which you can see her on AEW Dark a lot. She's done a lot of matches for AEW Dark. She's going back again for another match. And she was also, besides being trained by Cody, she went to Texas for 3 months and was the first class for the Dustin Rhodes wrestling school.
Yeah. I listened to that interview that you did with her. I thought that was great, man, because with her quitting her job and going out there for 3 months and learning from Dustin Rhodes, the son of the American Dream, Dustin Rhodes. I love that. I thought that was great, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, and then Dustin took a liking to her, so she went back again to do their training school show, and now she's her first ever champion.
Oh, nice. I did watch the 3 matches she had on Dark and Dark Elevation. I watched the match with her first one with Britt Baker.
Yeah, that one.
I'm like, nah. I'm like, okay.
Well, and then the next one she did was with Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, that's the one I liked because she got into 2 things I've seen her done almost a million times when I watch her in the ring, and I was like, that was cool. Thunder Rosa let her get her stuff in. That's what I was happy about, unlike the match with Britt Baker. But then her third match against, what's her name? The one that they're trying to push to be like big with the white hair. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. So she did that at the Cincinnati show. AEW was in Cincinnati, and she was there in front of everybody in Cincinnati, and everybody from FGW was there that supported her. And in that match, she did pretty good, man. That was one hell of a match she was in, man. Yeah,
it was a squash match, but from a business point of view, I understood why, because she went in there, she did what she was supposed to do, but then from a fan point of view, I wanted to see more, but I understand from the business point, work, actually being behind the scenes and working with a lot of like workers in the last 9-10 months, I've actually seen and learned quite a bit and hear and just hear different things. And
what the most important thing is, though, too, for anything, like if you're like a interviewer, announcer, or anything, if you're in that back locker room, always listen to what's going on. Like if there's like say, for example, I'm going to be commentating for FGW. So I would take a notebook before, show starts, and I walk around and then listen to what the matches are and what's going to happen. So I'll be prepared, I'll be like, okay, he's going to, oh, wow, he did the bulldog, or he's running the rope, or did an Irish whip, and be prepared. I learned a lot. The thing is, listen and keep your mouth shut, especially when you're listening to the vets in the back room.
Yeah. Listen to the vets, because the vets know, they've been there. They have more knowledge of what's going on, and I would definitely take a vet's advice over someone who's green in the business any day. Definitely.
And then you got those crazy promotions out there where they don't train the wrestler properly, and they get in a match with a seasoned veteran or someone's been in it and end up hurting somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another big thing, that they're not trained properly. One, because you're taking care of each other in the ring. And if you don't take care of each other, one thing off, you can hurt that.
You have to be on that one-to-one page. You got to be connected. You got to know, you got to carry each other to make that successful story and match. And if you're not, someone's going to end up getting hurt or going to the hospital, or who knows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's everything is timed and precision, just right and stuff. It is. And I've been watching the hell out of your promos that you've been doing. Man, that talent pushes you around, don't they?
Okay, dude. Madman Fulton grabbed me by the throat like this and slammed me against the wall. He goes, "Did I answer your questions?" Yeah, a lot of them do that. A lot of them slam me in the walls, or a lot of them will be like, "You should feel privileged. I'm talking to you," or I get picked on. They're like, "Oh no, I'm here with Robyn Nelson." It's like I did a promo with the Prophet of Pain, Amos.
Yeah,
and we did this, promo, and Cody and Shauna was on Local 12 in Cincinnati to talk about the show. It was called Future Great Wrestling. Team Frank presents Fight for Your Life, and it's for suicide awareness and suicide prevention. It was like a charity. And when I was in the promo, you'll see it Wednesday. I'll definitely share it on the podcast page, but oh my gosh, it just, Amos, he sure does not like me.
I don't think he likes a lot of people, man. I don't think Amos does like a lot of people.
Oh, no, he's not. He's just like a whole different guy. And, this Friday night at Future Great Wrestling, he's going to be in a no disqualification match with the Icon Cody Hawk.
Yeah.
William Wolf set it up. And it's the anniversary of their blood feud they had in 2019, which led up to the main show, FGW Cold-Blooded, which is coming up. Not this Friday, but next Friday. It's the anniversary.
Oh, that's right.
Isn't that a trip? So it's like the anniversary. And then that next night at the benefit show, which we just talked about, William Woods signed him. He's going to take on the Guiding Light Matthew Taylor for the Future Great Wrestling, heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
And then, it's everybody's been wanting that, Amos and Matthew Taylor. So that's going to be one hell of a match.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was watching that promo that Nicole, did with the Matthew Taylor, the Guiding Light.
Get it right.
Yeah.
The Guiding Light. Matthew Taylor. If you heard you right now, he'd be having a big sour in his taste in his mouth.
Well, I was watching that, and for some reason, when I was watching it, I said to myself, this is creepy. I said, this is Waco, Texas creepy. And then I was like, dude, who he reminds me of? He reminds me of David Koresh. He does, man. He does. You ever seen a picture of David Koresh?
Yeah, he does. But he has that beautiful shiny hair though.
Well, David Koresh did too. It's like I'm looking at him when he's looking at the camera and he has the glasses on, almost the same type of glasses. I say
his gospel, his book got
David Koresh. I was like, oh shoot, David Koresh has invaded FGW. Oh no!
And then he has his congregation.
You see, David Koresh. It's David Koresh all over again, man. Scary. He does because you ever seen a picture of that guy?
Yeah, he looks dead
serious.
on.
Take a picture of Matthew Taylor and David Koresh, put them side by side. Dude, I freaking tell you, they're like brothers almost.
All right, I'll explain that. I'll explain that promo between him and Nicole. Her husband Pete, is a huge fan since day one. Uh-huh. So Cody Hawk and Matthew Taylor were the FGW tag champions, but Matthew Taylor didn't like that because he doesn't like nobody. So he threw his title down and walked out. So this debut of the tag team, the Crown, came in, big, huge monsters. We're coming in and they're going to defend the title. So Cody was looking around and looked at Pete and he's like, "Hey, come in and help me." So Pete's like, "Me?" So he gets in and they both like take a beating.
Oh, man.
A straight beating. And then now Pete is now training by Cody Hawk. So he's getting the ring. So this Friday night, William Wolf, who's the new Future Great Wrestling commissioner, has something in store for him. So we don't know what's going to happen since he's a newbie.
Oh man, that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, David Barnabas Spector. I have to tell you, I mentioned this to you when we talked the other day. I said,
yeah,
I fell behind on watching FGW. I'm trying to get caught up. I'm pretty much now. I am probably about a few weeks behind now because I watched
good.
Last night. It
starts getting better,
dude. Last night I watched it where Cody grabbed a hold of Matthew Taylor and tore up the whole set. That was great. They're they're going through the curtain, and Nicole and I forget the other guy's commentary.
It's Bryce.
Yeah, Nicole got the hell out of there, man. All of a sudden, Amos comes. I was like hoping to see Cody powerbomb him through the FGW table. They tore up the whole set, and then I watched the one after that. Boom! All of a sudden, it was like new set. I'm like, oh, cool. This is good. Change it up, man. I liked how they had it when FGW first came out. They had the entrance over in the corner. Where they came out. I thought that was good, but then
they got a new set. It's a new set. Now they got like two ramps that walk into the ring, and right in the center you have Nicole and Bryce who do all the commentating. And then you got like the cameras, like the main camera on one side, you got everything, and then you got the technicians who work the controls behind, and now you got the smoke, and the ring's been revamped. It looks like an old television studio back from the days like NWA, where they had where they have like the commentating booth, and the ring was right there.
I love it. I love the new setup. I love how they have that set up. I love how they've revamped everything and stuff. What I like about FGW, what I've been watching here, they've been keeping things fresh. And I've been seeing a lot of new faces. I'm trying to keep up with all this talent because when I first started watching it, I was like, okay, I knew who all the talent was. And then after they came back from being shut down, and then I'm seeing all these new people, and I'm like, whoa, man. I'll tell you who I like. I like the Indian. I like him.
Oh, Kyle Hawk.
Kyle Hawk, yes. I like Kyle Hawk. I also like, what's his name? Joe. I like Joe.
You like Joe Lopez, the referee?
No, not Joe Lopez, the referee. He's a good ref. I do like the refs. The refs do a great job.
Okay,
but I'm talking about now? Potomo.
Pompano Joe.
Yeah, I like him.
Where he goes.
Yeah, I like him. I like him, and of course I like I like all the talent there that I see that comes through and stuff. And I also like talent that just shows up, just out of the blue and just. I get a kick actually out of Jake Shepard.
Get the quintessential Jake Shepard with Wrestle Active Flu Bland, where he goes, "Caca, caca."
I get a kick out of that. He gets out there and just, it's like, wow, he starts gyrating and stuff. It's like, wow. I was like, this is I was like, this is great, man. They've really got a lot of good talent and stuff. I do miss seeing Jackson Breeze. Who else do I miss? I miss Jackson, seeing him, but I'm glad he pops up every once in a while. I'm glad to see him.
He's been popping up a lot lately. He's been wearing this little hillbilly overalls, carrying his moonshine, walking barefooted. This is Jackson Breeze from Kentucky.
I like Jackson. I've always liked him ever since I started watching FGW, and then I also I miss seeing their Mark Magnum. I miss him. I miss seeing him.
Yeah, he's retired.
Did he retire?
Yeah, he doesn't wrestle anymore.
Oh, no way. Because I was wondering why, because they had this big angle him and Jackson were going to do. They built up during when everything was shut down.
Yeah, it was part of the code. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, dude, this is going to be great. I can't wait. And then I didn't see, nothing happened. I was like, what happened? It's just like I was wanting to see something, but that makes sense. And dude, Jay West, man, that really hurt about Jay West being
he can't wrestle anymore too. But Jay West is a phenomenal wrestler in that ring. I always liked Jay West. Yeah,
I did too. When I had him on last year, he was one of the first guys that I started interviewing when I had like weeks of weeks to talking to FGW talent. He was one of the first ones there when I talked with him, and I watched his matches. I'm like, wow. And you could always go back on that episode, I think 186, I think it was 184, somewhere in there. It's in the 180s section.
Yeah.
I can't think. I've done so many.
He's a great wrestler. He shows up here and there once in a while to say hi to everybody in the locker room, and he puts a good presence in that, and he has that positive attitude too. I mean, he's a smart guy, know. He's a very smart dude.
Yeah. I was glad to see him starting to do stuff with interviews and then doing commentary. I love that because he was still in the business, but in a different role. He wasn't in the ring as a performer, but at least he was still in the business, because there's so many roles that you can do in the business where you don't have to be a worker in the ring. There's a lot you can still do in wrestling.
Yeah. It's great. And the thing I like about Future Great Wrestling, which is different from everybody else, they go by a storyline. There's a storyline, because if you go to most indie shows, they don't want to do a story. They just want to go in, do their match, do something fancy. They don't want to, tell a story. You got to have a story from start, middle, and finish to keep, the audience into it, to get them really into it. It's like, oh no, this is how it ended. So that means I have to check out Shockwave, next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, on the Future Great Wrestling YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Or if I live near Cincinnati, I'll have to go to a Friday show to see what's going to happen next. You don't see that today in most indie shows at all.
No,
except for the big league AEW, they're like old school too. So but they're up there too. But they do the storylines, and that's the thing I like about Cody, because Cody trains talent, comes in, or he has a wrestling school there too. Cody Hawk's, wrestling academy. If anybody's interested, you should hit up Cody Hawk. But yeah, so he trains too, and he's like the booker of the show, and Brian Levick runs it,
Mm-hmm.
But Cody keeps it like storyline and everything. It's cool. I like the old school feel to it too. I mean, there's new stuff mixed with old school, which is pretty cool.
It is. It is. That's what draws me into. That's what drew me into FGW. There was the fact that it had that old school feel of stuff that I used to watch or come upon when I would watch access cable, like late at night on a Friday or Saturday night. And when speaking of that, I could see they're on local channel on Dayton. Tell me about that.
Oh yeah, they just got picked up by Dayton, a local public access channel in Dayton, Ohio. So they gave us some equipment to use so we can film the matches. So we're filming, for Shockwave, and we're also filming for the Dayton Public Access channel, so people can also see, Future Great Wrestling on public access. If you're like in the Dayton area, and there's Cincinnati, Dayton, you can see Future Great Wrestling on TV, besides Shockwave on YouTube.
Yeah. I was going to ask you that if you watch it on YouTube there, is it the same experience if you watch it on Dayton, or is it different?
Oh, it's different because, like, the shows are totally different. There's certain matches, you're not going to see everything they filmed on Shockwave.
Okay.
So, like, if you lived in Cincinnati, you watch Shockwave, but you would have to come to shows. And then Dayton, I haven't got a chance to watch it on Dayton. It's a little bit different because, on YouTube, we got like tons of subscribers, a lot of subscribers on YouTube, but on public access, now we got more viewers. We're just going to find out about FGW. It's like, I watch these guys in Dayton on TV, maybe I'll take a trip down to Hamilton, Ohio. Mm-hmm. And see a live show,
Yeah.
And I'm glad because Future Great Wrestling is rising. We're getting well known everywhere. There's a lot of wrestlers from all over that want to come to Future Great Wrestling.
Yeah, I don't blame them because you could train with one of the greatest trainers in
Cody Hawk.
Cody Hawk. You can get to train with him. If you up in the Northwest there.
Hamilton, Ohio. There's a lot of wrestlers who also been in the business a long time. Were trained by somebody else, but when they go and get trained by Cody, they feel a lot better about themselves because Cody, he's just best in the business. He's real knowledgeable on everything from the inside the ring, outside the ring, the production side of it, the booking side of it. And a lot of wrestlers I talked to who train Cody have learned a lot more, less time than who they were trained by their regular trainers.
Right. What I like, I like Cody's psychology because I see that, and that was the one thing I was missing about wrestling was the psychology part. I went to a show. Independent show, I went to a Knockout Wrestling show, and I was sitting.
Oh yeah, I love Persia Pierce. If you see Persia, tell her that Robyn still loves her. I love Persia Pierce.
Yeah,
she has a lot of potential. She does solid matches. She's still doing the business, but she's a beast. I love Persia Pierce. But go ahead.
So. I went to a Knockout Wrestling show, and I was there, and I was talking with Thumper Chapman, and okay. I was sitting next to him. We were watching matches, and he pretty much taught me some of the psychology, and I was like, it clicked. It's like,
yeah,
there's always a reason why you do this and do that, which I was missing. And when he was like, look at this, look at that, I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, and then everything just came together, and
it does, because if you don't have psychology or a good storyline, you're not going to have a good match or show. And today in wrestling today, there's a lot of lack of storytelling. There's a lot. I'm not saying all wrestlers. There's a lot of wrestlers who don't want to do promos. They just want to do their match. Promos are the most important thing, which is part of in-ring psychology too, because it tells you your story and it gets the audience drawn into you.
Yeah, because you can have. I'll use this as an example. You can have a good face heel story where the face, we'll say he's holding a belt. the face, you got a face holding a championship.
Yeah.
And everyone loves him. And then you got this heel that's sitting there looking, and it's like, I can't stand that guy. I'm going to hurt him. And he goes out there and he hurts him, and he gets the heat, and he's like, everyone's booing him. You suck. And he's like, he's like, getting heat from the crowd and everything. Yeah. And then you see him cut a promo in the ring, and he's like, that's what I think about your champion. You know what? Your people suck. This town sucks. This town is the most filthiest town I've been in. Boo and everything. And then the next week you see them cutting a promo on, the face cutting the promo about what happened. Yeah. And he's like, you want to jump me? He's like, you know what? I'll fight you anywhere, anytime. And then the heel comes back, with a promo, and he's like, fight me anywhere, anytime. We'll fight my terms. And then that week, when the heel's having a match, then you see the face come in and beat him down, get some reputation. You get some, redemption, retribution. And then the following week, the heel comes back and gets payback. Beats him
up again.
Yeah, you go back and forth. Or you do the thing where the face does not touch the heel. The heel beats down the face every single week. Where basically it's like, does this guy even have a chance to beat him? And then when that match comes, and all of a sudden an underdog story, boom, there's the storytelling right there,
And speaking how the heel says certain names, I'll give you a good example. David Barnabas Spector, he calls the fans insectoids.
I know, insectoids. He calls them insectoids. He's like, you're stinking, you insectoids. I just like, wow, he really does love the FGW crowd, man.
Yeah, but the FGW crowd sure hates David Barnabas Spector and Darkness Worldwide.
If I was I told my wife, I said, if we lived in Ohio, where I'd be every Friday night? And she said, where? I said, FGW. And I said, I'd be heckling the hell out of them, because when I'm in the crowd as a fan, watching the show, not behind the scenes, I do like to heckle the heels. For example, this couple weeks ago, I went to a Knockout wrestling show. I went to Knockout Resolution. So I met, a lot of the people there that I've worked with and for the last few months with. And I'm sitting there enjoying the show. And when I seen the guys I know come out, their heels out in the crowd, come out there, I'm heckling them, because they're looking at me like, what the hell's Everett doing? I'm sitting there, I'm like, boo, you suck. And then someone, they get out there and they start cutting a promo, and I'm like, my mom could cut a better promo than that. It's just like, they're like, what? It's like, hey, I'm a fan tonight. I could be a fan at least once, But I'll heckle them and stuff, and then like after the show, they're like, dude, what the hell was that? I'm like, having fun, man. I was like, they're like, you had fun, I can tell.
And speaking when we're talking about old school, another thing I like about FGW too, by doing old school, you will never see the heels out during intermission. It's only the baby faces.
That's what I like, because I think it was New Japan Wrestling. They do that. You see the faces out, meeting the crowd, doing meet and greets and stuff. The meeting the fans. You don't see a heel. You don't see a heel intermission over here trying to sell his merchandise. Buy my merchandise. They come by and like, ooh, you suck. It's like, I don't want to buy your merchandise. Heels don't sell merchandise. Faces sell merchandise. Am I correct?
Yeah, and then it's kind of hard to get like heel merchandise. Guess you have to go like to their store or something. If they have something on Pro Wrestling Tees, I'd be like, okay, I'll just put my stuff on Pro Wrestling Tees, and you can just get it from there.
Well, yeah, it's the kayfabe way to do it, man. Because heels don't go out; they don't advertise to buy my stuff. It's like, you're supposed to hate them. You're not supposed to buy their stuff. You're not supposed to.
Oh, we got this new wrestler. He goes by the Killbilly, Nate Hewitt. He has this long silver chainsaw, says "Saw his family." He wears this flesh skin mask. He also has an alien mask. He also has a Bigfoot Sasquatch mask. He's like the urban legend. But when he cranks up that chainsaw, man, people get a huge pop up. He gets in at that chainsaw, and his opponents are like running and rolling out of the ring, going, "I'm not going to get chainsaw by him." Yeah, Nate Hewitt, man, that guy. I love his character, and he's pretty solid in the ring.
Kind of reminds me, I hate to say this though, but at least you don't cut no one's limbs off. Brutus the Barber Beefcake, where I used to cut their hair.
Well, those hedge clippers.
he's the modern day version of Brutus Beefcake. Then
when you hear that chainsaw, man, you feel the hair going on your arms. You're like, damn, like you get the chills. It's like when you hear that, you're like, oh shit.
Jackal, lumberjack that has a chainsaw in it. He should come out to that. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. He's a big horror fan too, and his favorite movie of all time is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And he knows the history inside and out. So you definitely got to get Nate Hewitt on your show, man. He's fun.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to hit up some talent.
And he's from the Appalachian Mountains too.
Really?
Legit Appalachian Mountains, man.
Oh, no way. I lived up there for 11 years. I did that.
In Kentucky, okay.
Tennessee. Not
Tennessee, okay. Which is close to Kentucky. All right. Yeah. Tennessee, Kentucky, okay.
Yeah, right next. Well, my sister...
But I like Tennessee, though. Tennessee and Kentucky, really, joking aside, Tennessee and Kentucky's got some beautiful forest and land out there, man.
They got some good promotions out there and stuff.
They do.
I know at one point you were involved with a certain promotion, and I was with a mutual friend.
We won't mention names like that.
Yeah.
But a cool promotion out there, not too far from us, is run by Axel Rotten. John Williams is IWA Mid-South. That's an awesome promotion. And then plus right there in Louisville, Kentucky, you got Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Yes.
Where a lot of big name wrestlers started at, OVW, man.
Mm-hmm. Ripper Blackheart, I was talking with him. Last year, I watched WrestleMania. It was last year, the Fanless WrestleMania. Yeah. And I watched that, and pretty much I quit watching WWE after that. I did now once a month, would jump on there and watch the pay-per-views just to see what happens. I quit watching Raw and SmackDown.
Oh, I quit that a long time ago. I quit watching WWE. I'm like you. Mm-hmm. I just only look at the clips. That's it. Right now, dude, All Elite Wrestling's where it's at today, man.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's
definitely
doing good. It's doing good. I mean, they got like great talent. They got this great young talent. I mean, they got some veterans in there too, which is cool. But it's great. And when I was listening to Eric Bischoff's podcast, 83 Weeks, they were talking about AEW and WWE. And Bischoff said, Tony Khan is doing what is right for AEW. He's doing the right thing, which is making it good. That's why everybody likes AEW now. And Eric says he should be the underdog. Just play it off as an underdog because WWE is still at the top. Yeah. They're still going to get, more of the, viewers and stuff, but he should play it smart and do the underdog, But, Tony, he has that, big mouth and stuff, which he sounds like what Eric Bischoff would say, a dirt sheet writer. You know what I mean by dirt sheets.
Yeah. I definitely do know what you're talking about with like dirt sheet writers. They fire off a little bit too much than what they're supposed to. But,
That's what Tony Khan's doing, man.
Yeah.
just do it. Your AEW's getting popular. Just play the underdog, man. Everybody loves the underdog.
Yeah, just do your thing. Don't worry what's around you. And
yeah,
I I pretty much quit watching it completely when I watched Survivor Series last year when Undertaker retired. When after he walked off and was done, I was like, I don't need to. I'm done watching this because there's other great promotions out there, and AEW was really catching my interest with everything going on at that time. So when I was talking to Ripper Blackheart, I was like, I got rid of WWE Network. I said, pretty much, I don't really know what to get now to fill that. And he told me, IWTV, Independent Wrestling Television.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
I was like, what is that? You know?
Yeah, it shows every independent promotion all around. Mm-hmm. And right now, independent wrestling is on fire right now.
Oh, yeah. It is.
I mean, there's so much great talent, but the thing that makes me mad now, since Vince fired, a lot of people from WWE, now they're going to end up taking over the, independent shows, and they're going to get the better bookings and stuff, which is going to be hard for somebody who's busting their ass as an indie wrestler, making a name for themselves, and they're going to go everywhere, man, and it's going to steal the thunder from the indie guys, which, I hate, because, I love independent wrestling. I mean,
I do too. I do too, man, because I like the stuff that I found on IWTV. I watch New South Wrestling. I watch this.
Yeah, New South's pretty good. That's run by Ace. What's his name? Ace. Him and his wife run that. It's Ace. Oh, shoot, what's his name that runs Pro South, which is down in Alabama? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think what's his name is. It's Ace Haven.
Yes.
It's Ace Haven that runs. Yeah, it's Ace
New South.
That's actually a pretty good promotion.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to say Future Great Wrestling, of course, is my favorite promotion. But, you got other ones. I'll tell you another great promotion up in Lima, Ohio, which is run by Thomas, Williams. Real smart guy. He's been in the wrestling business for a long time. He knows the ins and outs, and very knowledgeable guy with War Wrestling.
Yeah.
Check out War Wrestling.
Yeah.
Had a lot of big names too, man. War Wrestling's where it's at too. I mean,
yeah, Ripper.
I mean, there's so much, great promotions out there, to look, and then and then you got the casual fans who are, like just saying WWE's the only thing. They don't realize there's other good wrestling out there, and they don't realize some of the stars they root for. Some of them actually, started in the indies. I mean, a lot of them started in training with WWE, but most of them came straight up from the indies, And the most important thing is, you should, if you're going to support the, the big league wrestling like AEW or, WWE or, Impact or whatever, really, you should be really supporting the indie wrestler, because you don't know if he's going to end up going to the big time or not. You should be, really rooting for more of the indie guy.
You should. One of the promotions that I found on IWTV besides New South was I found it just recently, and I've been watching them, is Southern Honor Wrestling.
I've never heard of that.
No, you've not heard of Southern Honor Wrestling? I'll send you this thing that they just put out, and you're gonna be like, wow, because they got the support from big name veterans like Diamond Dallas Page, Jake Roberts, Scott Hall. They've had big people drop by the promotion like Cody Rhodes, Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega have stopped in there. They have. Yeah. Yes. Southern Honor Wrestling. I'll have to send you some. I'll send you this.
Well, if you get a chance, you should also, Dustin Rhodes, has an excellent training school and show in Texas. Texas is a hotbed of wrestling besides horror. See, in Texas, you're either a horror fan, a pro wrestling fan, or you're straight football fan, man, that's just like a big hotbed. Or if you want to get technical, there's some great independent promotions up in Canada, man, up like around the Toronto area.
Talking about Texas, my wife, she watches the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders making the team. She's been watching
gosh.
I've actually sat down and watched some of it, man. Dude, you're talking about competitive, man, because they're looking for the right type of person to do this. It's not easy.
And also, don't forget, fitting those little teeny little cheerleader outfits.
Yeah. They have to look a certain way. Their body has to stay a certain way, and if it's not, it's in their contract. They could get cut loose. I was watching it where they had like veterans. As soon as some people become like, veterans, they kind of let it go a little bit, and then all of a sudden they get called out for it. It's like, you were like this training camp when you're a rookie. Now you're this. You need to do something or you're out of here. And I was like, wow, man. They're serious, because it's all about a look and how you present yourself and package and stuff and professionalism. There's a lot goes into it besides sitting there smiling in front of the camera, and there's more than that.
Well, yeah, there's more. I mean, even Cody, teaches that too. And I have to thank Cody for everything, man. Cody's been up to bat for me. He's gave me so much opportunity. I'm only human. I've screwed up too, but he still gives me that opportunity. And and you've seen my first promos. I was so green.
Oh yeah.
I was very green. And, I'm still working on it. I'm getting better. I'm not like Tony Schiavone or Mean Gene, but I'm getting better at it. I'm getting more confident with myself. Not overthinking. I'm getting back into being Robyn Nelson. Like how we're just chatting right now. That's how I should be when I'm doing promos with the wrestlers.
You should.
And I've been getting like real better at it. I haven't given up. I'm not going to give up. I love being part in the wrestling business. I mean, I respect Cody Hawk so much, man. He's done a lot for me. Same with the owner, Brian Levick. I mean, Brian Levick gives me tons of opportunity. Cody gives me tons of opportunity, man, because I'm able to do backstage interviews. I'm able to, show up to the training school to do promos like I did tonight with Amos, which you'll see Wednesday, which is going to be good, because right now he's, feuding with a Cody and the guiding light Matthew Taylor, and then him and Shauna are patching things up too, because they had like a little rough patch they're going through right now.
It's since I mentioned it, I know every time now when you see the guiding light, you're gonna think of David Koresh now.
Oh, I am. I'm gonna say when I see Matthew Taylor, I'm gonna tell him that. I'll be like, I was on the Everett show, and when the video shows up on social media, you need to watch it, because he said you look like David Koresh, and he's gonna give you that weird look. You better be careful. He may get the congregation after you. He's got those minions.
You talking about the little yellow kind? I'm sorry.
Hey,
you said minions.
Don't mention the Kool-Aid, man. He drinks this like Kool-Aid wine thing. To me, it's Kool-Aid, but
Matthew Taylor, we're just ribbing you, man. Come on, man. You're great.
Definitely got to. If you reach out and get the guy like Matthew Taylor, I'll definitely watch this, man. I got to see how you and him, this would be interesting,
Oh yeah. I mean, if he tries me to, says I'm going down the wrong path, the devil, I'm dancing with the devil. You're dancing with the devil. You're going down the wrong path. I'd be like, you know what? I dated the devil's sister, so you ain't telling me nothing I don't know.
Oh, look at you! You're drinking the Kool-Aid. So, are you part of the congregation?
No, this is called Guinness. That's my Kool-Aid. It's called Guinness. Extra stout.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
Dang! But hey, wait. We're gonna do that. I'll get a little Grey Goose.
Oh, yeah.
And get a little bit of cinnamon Hellboy whiskey.
Dude, Hellboy whiskey? Oh, no freaking way.
Yeah, they don't make this anymore. This is from like Tennessee, man. Nicole went down there because she has family there, and she brought me this up. This is like a limited edition red cinnamon whiskey.
Oh, shoot. You
from Tennessee.
You haven't even opened it, have you?
No.
Well, that's like
occasions.
That's like I have, ODB, One Dirty Bitch.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I got her.
Still love my drinks.
I got her barbecue sauce.
Is her barbecue sauce pretty good? I heard it was pretty good.
I haven't even opened it. I've not opened it in 2 years. 3 years.
Yeah, I've had her food. She owns a bunch of roach coaches too.
Yeah, when she was working with Jimmy.
She was
Hart,
at All In with her roach coach, and we got to try some of her food. It was pretty good,
dude. Yeah, when she was down here in Daytona, and she worked with Jimmy Hart when he had his place over on Beachside.
Yeah.
Here, I'm tearing up my mic. Yeah, she had her food truck there, man, and dude. She had some really good food. And then there was NXT. They would come to Daytona, do house shows. She showed up out front there. No one had a problem with it. And she was serving her food and stuff there right before the NXT event. And everyone's like, ODB. When she came in there, she walked in there. She sat down and was watching it. And everyone's like, ODB. And I was like, I came over. I was like, hey. I was like, what do you think? Because it was like her first like NXT show that she seen there in Daytona. I was like, so what do you think? And she was like, not bad. That was the night when Lana was starting to train and get into before she got up to the main roster. So she was doing NXT house shows. So she was there that week. There was this guy. Okay, I always seen at Go Wrestle. Go Wrestle's a local promotion here. And that's like 2 minutes from my house. So I always see this guy there, and he's like a big time fan. He has the signs and everything, and he starts cheering and stuff. And it's like when the faces come out, he holds up their signs, and he's like, yeah! And then when the heels come out, boo! So he was there. He was front row. So I was like, I like doing this at shows. I like to reverse things, flip things. So when there's people there that are cheering for the faces and booing the heels, I actually start cheering the heels. So he's there, and Lana was a heel. She came out, and he's like, boo, boo. And I was like, my nephew was with me and my wife. I was like, flip it. Well, all I said was flip it. As soon as I said, hey, flip it, they know what to do. So we started cheering, and he was sitting there, and he's like, boo. We're like, yeah. And he turned around, and he was like, and then every time she do a move, he go, boo. We're like, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's booing. They're like, looking, they're like, are these guys on like drugs or something? Because we're cheering. And he kept on looking over, and then after the show, dude, he gave me this dirty look, like he wanted, like at intermission. We're at the snack bar. I'm sitting there, and he's behind me, and I'm sitting there, and I turned back around, look at him, and I ran into him, and I looked at him. He looked at me for a minute. And he was like, I'm like, well. It's like, I'm being an ass.
What are you gonna
do? Yeah. He was so mad at me for doing that. And well, I mean, it's just, I was having a good time. Then it's just people are looking at it like, what's wrong with these? It's like someone, I did that one time and someone was like, hey, they're the bad guys. I go, I know. And I like the bad guys. Yeah, just and they're like, wow. It's like, this is crazy. It's like wrestling fans, you can boo or cheer whoever you want. That's wrestling, That is.
And if the heel's getting really under your skin, they're doing their job.
Oh yeah. They definitely are. I've been seeing a lot of stuff on you posting with like comic book stuff and everything. You put a post out that I liked a while back ago.
What was it?
It had to do with the Batman that's going to be coming out next year, man.
With Robert Pattinson, where he's like the goth Bruce Wayne, and you know something? When they did that trailer from the DC fandom, man, you know something? I'm gonna go see it. At first, I was real iffy because it's from those little Twilight movies, a little wimpy. But actually, Robert Pattinson is really a talented actor. He's done a lot of good dramas. And when they did the final, trailer for the Batman, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna definitely check it out. I mean, it looks good. And then the new Flash movie coming out. When I saw hearing Michael Keaton's voice in the back of his cowl, dude, I had chills.
Dude, it's gonna be great because when the Batman comes out, you're going to forget the fact that Robert Pattinson did those movies. You're gonna kind of know that he did, but also too, this is going to be like him because I feel that every person who becomes Batman, Bruce Wayne, they bring something new to the table. He's going to bring something new and interesting, and dude, he's gonna freaking kill it. He's gonna kill it with his performance on what he's going to bring.
I have a feeling he will, and we'll look at Michael Keaton, when they first cast him as Batman back in '89, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, that's Mr. Mom. Mr. Mom's no Batman." Boom, he pulled it off.
Yeah,
and then people were like slamming
Heath
Ledger's Joker.
Yeah,
he put the legit Joker. I mean, he brought that real Joker right out of the comics, like if he was alive. Don't get me wrong, Jack Nicholson's Joker was good. But Heath Ledger just nailed that as the Joker, man.
Yeah. And I like Ben Affleck's Batman because
I do too. I get a lot of hate for that. I think Ben Affleck is a great Batman, in my opinion.
He was. When I saw his version of Batman in Batman vs Superman
and Justice League.
One version of Batman from the comics came to my mind. The Thomas Wayne alternate reality Batman. That's who he is. That's who I felt where he pulled a lot of the source material. Remember Flashpoint? You ever remember when
Thomas Wayne never died and he was like the Batman? Yeah.
I feel that he pulled that, which was something different. Like I go back. A lot of these people that put on the cape and cowl become, Batman, but they bring something new and exciting every time to the table. They do.
But George Clooney sucked as Batman. He even admitted it. He was a horrible Batman.
Hey, he played a better Bruce Wayne.
Val Kilmer was a horrible Batman, but he played a good Bruce Wayne. I liked his Bruce Wayne version, but he was a horrible Batman. Don't get me wrong, I like Val Kilmer, but he was a horrible Batman.
Honestly, I hate to say this because I was 16 when Batman Forever came out, and I went to the theaters and seen it like 4 or 5 times.
You're a nerd.
I am. I hate to say it because I like Val Kilmer, And damn, Nicole Kidman at that time, me 16-year-old Nicole Kidman, boing. I was like, she was to die for.
Yeah, because she was wearing that little sexy little black dress.
Oh God, yeah. And then Christian, it was like
Christian Bale.
They had Chris O'Donnell. Yeah. Christian Bale. I thought it was great. He was like, "Hi, I'm Bruce Wayne," and then he puts on the mask. He's like, "Where is he?"
Speaking of DC, man, I love the new Suicide Squad. That was great.
I didn't see it yet. I didn't see the new one yet.
John Cena. I'm not a big fan of his, but he plays the Peacekeeper character to the T. And now he's getting a spin-off in January on HBO Max, the Peacemaker TV series, which, he
was in the Suicide Squad?
Yeah, he was Peacemaker.
He was?
He's the one that wore the silver helmet, and he was Peacemaker. And like, you'd be in the middle of the jungle and they'd be sleeping, they'd be waking up wearing these tidy whities.
Oh, because I didn't see him.
We're not talking about the original, the Ayers. We're talking about the new one of Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie, John Cena.
Yeah, the new one, because...
Yeah, John Cena's in it. He's Peacemaker.
I didn't see it. I didn't see him.
Yeah, he was in the whole movie. He had the silver helmet on.
I didn't see him.
You need to watch it again. He had
I'm ribbing you. I keep saying, you're like, yeah, he's in the movie. I was like, I didn't see him.
Oh. Can I tell you something? That's a blonde moment of the night for me.
Robyn, I haven't seen you forever, so I haven't seen you forever.
That was a good rib.
That was. Like when Fast 9 came out, I put out there, I mentioned on another podcast, I said, I definitely want to see Fast 9, but I have one problem. Who is Vin Diesel fighting? Because I can't see them. And people is like, it's John Cena. He's standing right there, just like you did. And I'm like, he is, because I can't see him. And then they're like, oh, shut up, Everett.
You got me good. I totally forgot that. See, that tells you I'm not a huge John Cena wrestling fan.
Last night I watched Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings. It's on Disney
good.
Plus.
I love that movie.
Oh God, yeah.
It didn't have anything to do with the comic, but it reminded me of a movie from the Kung Fu Theater days.
Yeah.
On Sunday after you watch, it reminded me of a fun Kung Fu Theater film.
How they cut that movie, like with the action and the fights and stuff. I was marking out when I saw Wong and Abomination. I was marking out over that. I thought that was great. I did. I loved that. I thought it was great to see Wong.
I enjoyed it too. Shang-Li was good.
Yeah, it was. I liked the action in it. I liked the story, and I thought it was great. The mid-credit and end-credit scene was great, but I love the fact that freaking the Mandalorian or the Mandarin, Ben Kingsley, he was back in it. I love Ben Kingsley, man. He's a great actor.
He was like the actor. He's like, I'm just an actor for him right now, just an actor.
I know. I liked it when I was like, oh shoot, he died, and he's laying there and he's like, it's acting.
Oh yeah, when they got that the dragons was awesome. I love that water dragon, man.
Dude, I said to myself, I forgot the dragon was in it, because I remember watching the commercials or like the trailer where he's underwater and there's the dragon. And when I saw the dragon, I said, this movie has got 10 times better. If you put a dragon in a movie, I love it 10 times better. But speaking of dragons, You know his sidekick that was in the movie? She did the voice for the dragon and Rey of The Last Dragon.
Really? I haven't seen that movie. I heard it was pretty good.
Yeah, watch it because it's good. It's a pretty good story. My daughter, I sat her down to watch it. It's hard to get her to sit down and watch something new. She's like, no, I want to watch this. It's like, Callie, sit down. You're going to spend time with Daddy. You're going to sit right here. We're going to watch this. And when she watched it, she loved it. And the same, the person that was Shang-Chi's friend,
yeah.
She did the voice for the dragon and Rey of the Last Dragon. Now, right as soon as I heard her voice, it's like, Rey of the Last Dragon. That's her. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun movie. I really enjoyed it. That was a fun Marvel movie. It was.
Yeah.
And I just went and saw Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Dude,
Yeah.
How was that? How was that?
I'm not going to ruin anything. I'm not going to give any spoilers for anybody says. All it says, it's old and new combined together. They explain more stuff from the original film into the new film. It's a love letter to Harold Ramis. The movie also gave me a tear in my eye. There's 2 bonus scenes, one after the movie and one after the credits. So you got to stay through the whole movie to see the 2 extra bonus scenes too. And I saw it twice. I went and saw it on opening night, and then I went with some friends on fall weather at a drive-in theater.
No way. That's cool. That is cool. Now, I'll have to ask you this. Paul Rudd, was he great in that film or what?
Oh, dude, he's phenomenal in that film. He's such a beautiful man.
Well, he's the sexiest man alive, you know. There you go, Robyn.
Yeah, no, Paul Rudd was good in it too.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd, I anything Paul Rudd's in, I'll watch. I mean, he's a good actor.
Me too. My favorite Paul Rudd movies: Role Models, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Role Models was fun.
Oh God, Ben Affleck.
Hey,
why you call me Ben Affleck? You white? Yeah. Well, you're Ben Affleck. I love that.
That was what he kept on saying. That he's like, "You Ben Affleck."
Yeah. He's like, "Come back and pick us up in an hour," and then the kid was like, "Fuck you, reindeer games." I would love that. And then McLovin was in that movie, man.
I know. He played that nerd D&D guy. They were like LARPing.
Yeah, LARPing. And then what's his name? The comedian.
He was in The Hangover. Chow. He was like the king.
Yeah, I like the part where he comes out from Burger Hole or something, whatever it is, and he's sitting there, and then McLovin's like, "We gotta bow. That's the king." He's like, "Who's that dork with the crown?" And he's like, "He's the king." And he's sitting there, and he's like, Paul Rudd's like, "No." I love that part.
Speaking of him, he was funny when he played Chow in the Hangover movies.
Yeah,
and like part 2, he goes, "What's monkey for?" "Oh, monkey middleman. Monkey don't go to jail." And he had that scene where he was sleeping, and you see like this little teeny little Peter, like penis, and you see the monkey licking it. He's like, "Monkey, get off of me."
I love that, Dan. And
he calls Chow, and then Chow go around going, "Hey bitches,
hey bitches, hey bitches." Oh man, I love Role Models, and it's just
Role Models is great.
Yeah, I have the unrated version on Blu-ray. I have that one. I picked up I think it was called, it's on Blu-ray. I haven't watched it yet. It's a movie back in the 70s. It's called Blacktop, Two-Lane Blacktop. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's like a racing movie back in the 70s.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never seen it, but I've seen the original Gone in 60 Seconds movie, not the Nicolas Cage remake, the original.
Uh-huh. How's that one? I haven't seen it.
Dude, you need to watch it. It's good.
Is it good?
And there's another movie you're explaining how you're explaining about that racing movie. There's another movie back in the 70s too called, I think, I may be wrong, I think it's called Vantage Point.
Vantage Point. I've heard of Vantage Point. I've heard of that. I picked up some good classic movies here lately.
Well, tell me, I'm a movie buff. My collection's huge.
I picked up 2 versions of Blade Runner. I got the director's cut and the final cut.
Okay.
And
Blade Runner was a good movie.
Yeah, the
Rutger Hauer, Daryl Hannah, and Harrison Ford. Yeah. About the replicants.
Yeah. I picked up. I got 2 versions of that: the director's cut and final cut. And also, I found I think at the time it was the 20th, 25th, or 30th anniversary of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, that's a classic movie of Jack Nicholson and the crazy Indian chief.
Yes. And then I found, believe it or not, I went to a thrift store and I found the book of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
No, you
this
didn't.
Thick. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
How much was it? 50 cents?
Yeah, actually 25 cents.
You got a good deal. I heard.
Yeah.
I heard it's actually, a great read. Really, I mean,
it is.
That's good. That's a classic movie.
It is. And one, I'll mention this briefly. One of the things was that I think it was Kirk Douglas bought the rights of the movie, of the book, to make a movie, and he passed it off to a French director, the one who directed it, and he never got the book, and he never did make the movie. And come to find out was when Kurt mailed the book to him, Customs held on to it, and he never got the book. And so Kurt was like, I'm done with this. So he passed it on. Guess who got the movie going and got him to come on board to direct? He finished what his dad started. Michael Douglas got the movie going and everything. And
really?
Yeah. And a lot of people didn't know that. And they had a bunch of different people try out at that time that was well known in TV and theater and movies, for like Nurse Ratched. And
Nurse Ratched was pretty good because Nurse Ratched was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest too.
Yeah, and it's neat because on the DVD it has the bonus disc, and it has a documentary talking about it and stuff. And I watched it. That's what I love about DVDs and Blu-rays, the special features. So I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, wow, I found out a lot of this I didn't know about. And
it's good. You learn a lot. And the thing about it is, keep on buying physical media. Support physical media, but pretty soon, if you notice, physical media is slowly disappearing. You go to Best Buy, you don't see that many movies. You go to like Target, Walmart, they're like getting smaller and smaller because everybody's streaming.
Yeah, they are. That's one thing someone said that to me today. They mentioned that. They said DVDs and Blu-rays, they're going to disappear. I said, well, vinyls made a comeback. Vinyls did. Yeah,
they did. Vinyls is very popular right now. I mean, straight popular. Mm-hmm. But if you notice, no one's not really, buying DVDs or Blu-rays except us. The movie buffs like us, the geeks.
Yeah, they are, and I got in an argument with my nephew a while back ago, probably about a couple of years ago, and I said to my nephew said, we went to a flea market, and I was walking around, and I said, I would like to get Monsters Inc., the first one, on Blu-ray for my daughter, because we have Monsters University. Well, why do you need to get that? And I said, so she can have. Oh, you can stream it. You can get it. And I was like, no, I want a physical copy of it. Oh, no, you should. And I said, all right, let me ask you this. I said, your streaming service goes out. What are you going to watch? I said, dude, I got a whole library of movies. My cable actually at one point went out. I had no cable for 2 days. Guess what I watched? I pulled out my DVD collection. What do I got? I haven't watched. Oh, dude. Hey, haven't seen Fight Club. Doom. Hey, I bought this box set, the American Gangster box set. What movies are in there? Carlito's Way. I've never watched it. I guess I'll watch that tonight. And what am I going to watch after it? American Gangster, Denzel Washington, Russell Crowe. Boom. There we go. And I mentioned that to him. I said, what are you going to do? Well, he didn't have an answer. I was like, there.
Well, I mean, this generation doesn't believe in, collecting, movies. It's just all streaming.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is you got to start watching streaming too, because like certain shows like Netflix, Amazon or whatever are streaming these new shows, but they're not putting them on disc at all. Well, you have to watch. It's automatically streaming. Now, Disney is slowly getting rid of their disc and going 100% streaming.
Yeah, they did for a while there. I do find every once in a while where they come out the special edition on DVD where it's like, you buy this right now. If you don't, you're never going to get it again.
Yeah, disappear. Back to the vault. Yeah,
back to the vault. I found a bunch of those DVDs, and I got them for my daughter. I got them like Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland. My favorite Disney cartoon. I got something on my mic there.
Well, you tell me yours, and I'll tell you mine.
Alice in Wonderland.
That's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite one is
what?
The Great Mouse Detective with Vincent Price as the villain.
Oh yeah. I do like the fact that Disney, has a lot of stuff on there. Like you said, like Netflix has a lot of shows on there and stuff that you can't buy. But I own the first season of Stranger Things on Blu-ray.
Was it a bootleg?
No. It's the real thing.
Oh yeah, I remember they brought that out. Yeah, and Netflix also did it with Cobra Kai too.
Yeah. It depends on what the show is, I guess, if they're going to put out.
Like me, like on Amazon, the third season's going to be coming out, The Boys. I like The Boys, but you can't get that on disc. I mean, you could get on bootleg, but with poor quality. I don't want bootleg. I want the whole thing. I like The Boys.
Yeah, you'd want the whole physical copy. That's like CDs. I got a 100-disc CD changer, and it's filled up.
I love my CDs. I still buy CDs.
Yeah, I do too. I have a 100-disc CD changer, and on that 100-disc CD changer, I have a 100-disc ranging from Metallica, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, The Doors, Sublime, to Blues Traveler, Willie Nelson, to Johnny Cash.
You got to add some Glenn Campbell and some Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, I do. I think I do need some Gambling Man in my thing. I got a vinyl collection too. One of my favorite vinyls I have is Jimi Hendrix Experience. I have that.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't got the vinyl of Captain and Tennille.
Actually, I found accidentally was Abbey Road by the Beatles. And
I would have picked that up. Was it real? It's those are, that certain vinyl is expensive.
Yeah. I'll tell you what happened. I found that accidentally when I found another vinyl. I found The Cars. And
okay.
And what's funny was I found that and I put it aside. I'm like, oh, The Cars. I'm like, okay. And then I grabbed it and I was like, you know what? I think I'll get it. 3 days later, he died. The lead singer, that was announced that he died, and I found that accidentally. Is that not strange or what, man?
That's pretty crazy. That's wild. John Moxley, he's in rehab right now.
Yeah, I heard about that, man. I'm glad that he's getting help. And
the thing about it, his book, I got his book, Mox. It's called Mox. You need to get it. And that book is so hard to find, man, because it always keeps on selling out, man.
Yeah, John Moxley. I was listening to Jim Cornette. And of course, Moxley mentions a section in the book about Kevin Dunn, and I laughed my ass off. I'll have to send you that clip because it's funny to hear Jim Cornette. We know how Jim Cornette feels about Kevin Dunn.
Yeah,
Hey, Vince, he's in NXT. You should trust him. You know, the Silver Beaver.
Oh God, Cornette's funny.
Yeah.
Me and David interviewed him, and we were trying to get an interview. First, he had a bag on Donald Trump at the time before he was president. He's like, he was president. He's like, we don't need that orange-haired, tan, blah blah blah. Before he got to the interview, he slammed on Donald Trump. I was rolling my eyes. It's like, I don't care about if he likes Trump or not. I want to talk. And then he finally got, and then the classic thing is, which is classic, you have to get read by Cornette. Cornette read me and David good.
I remember watching that video. That was great. I mean, yeah. He ripped on you guys big time, man.
I know. He told me, he's like, what are you wearing? It looks like somebody that a homeless person would wear to a soup kitchen. I was like, what?
I know. He ribbed on you and David. It was so funny, man. I liked it. I mean,
it was good. We were all laughing with him. We were licking each other, laughing at each other.
I met Cornette, man. He's a great guy. He's really good. And then when we talked about earlier in the show about how we were at All In, they had a thing where you can do a promo with Tony Schiavone. Yeah. So David did, David Barnabas Spector. The very first promo he ever did was with, Schiavone. And I did one with Schiavone. And then after the week after All In and all that was over, Schiavone has a podcast, so he picked his 4 favorite promos. He played mine and David's promo on his show. That is awesome. I remember that. You sent me that. You're like, look, listen to this. And I listened to it. I was like, wow, that is great, man. That he liked you and David's promo. He thought it was the best, man. That is awesome. Getting a nod from someone who's been in the business as long as he has.
Then I went up to Tony Schiavone. And see, I was still green at doing interviews too, and he told me I did all right. And that promo, I remember I went to the Schiavone. It's like this, you should be privileged. You're talking to me. And he's like, oh, I am.
I remember he said that. Yeah, he looked at you like, oh, I am. Yeah, you are. You're talking to Robyn Nelson of Wrestle Popcast. You need to.
And he mentioned privileged. I got him to say Wrestle Popcast too. That's and they usually don't do that, but David's like, did you know what you did? And I was like, what? You got him to say Wrestle Popcast, and I go, I know.
You just got to know how to word it and twist it just right. Man.
I haven't did Wrestle Popcast in a long time, man. You know me, I've interviewed over 373 wrestlers.
Yeah, you've interviewed a lot of people, and I know with you being busy with FGW and everything, but I've never got to ask you this since doing Wrestle Popcast, and you've gone on to do a new show which has got a lot of recognition, and it's Horror Pop After Midnight. How the heck did that come about with you and your co-host Nicole? Tell me the story of that.
Oh yeah, me and Nicole. Well, I was thinking about doing a horror podcast, and I was talking to Nicole about it. And Nicole goes, "Hey, I like horror." I go, do you think I can, be like a co-host? And I was like, sure. So we got together, started the show. We got that, me and her have that great chemistry. She's also a commentator at Future Great Wrestling, but it kicked off. We were doing a lot of episodes, and then there was this guy who has a streaming local radio station in Hamilton called Rooster Radio, which is roostershamilton.com. And his station plays 80s music, but he has other shows in there. and he found out about our show. So he reached out to Nicole. He goes, "Hey, would you mind if I air your show on the radio station?" So Nicole's like, "I got to talk to Robyn about it first." So she comes up to me and she's like, "Robyn, there's this guy who wants us on his, streaming radio station, local radio station." And at first I was like real iffy. I was like, "Yeah, right. Sure." And then I did some research and I met up with him, and he was like the real deal. So like every Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, on roostershamilton.com, Rooster Radio, you can hear Horror Pop After Midnight, and then you can hear our episodes on, every podcast platform out there. And then we have a Facebook page, Horror Pop After Midnight too. But so we got into it, and we've been getting a lot of good following and listeners on Rooster Radio, man. I mean, from all over. I mean, it's just been picking up, and our show's getting known. We're slowly building, getting known. I mean, we've had guests on there, and then we've talked about stuff, just being heard about everything in the world of horror and pop culture. But when conventions started coming around again after COVID, I was getting press pass after press pass.
Nice. Now, I've listened to a lot of the Horror Pop After Midnight, and I'm gonna have to say it's great, and it's that one show that to me sticks out on Podcasting Network. That we have shows that cover pop culture, we have sports shows, we have wrestling shows, but we have the only horror podcast on Podcasting Network, which I think is awesome.
It is. I'm proud to be part of Podcast City Network family. We're on, like I said, we're on Rooster Radio, and of course, Podcast City Network. I like being on both of those platforms. Podcast City Network is where it's at too, man.
It is, and we're just getting warmed up and started. I mean, 3 years in on doing Podcasting Network. The next January, next 2 months will be 4 years. 4 years.
Dang,
yeah.
Congratulations to you guys, man.
Yeah, and we were talking about, it was great that we got in our 2-year show right before Florida got shut down. We were lucky because we got in that two-year anniversary show right there, and at City Limits, one of the biggest sponsors. I've been sponsoring City Limits and promoting them.
Oh, you've been sponsoring them forever. You've also done some live shows over there too.
Yeah, since 2016. Chris Carnage, he's like, "Hey, got this place, that we can, get a sponsor for the Everett Lee show." This is before Podcasting Network, pre-Podcasting Network. I was like, "What do we got?" City Limits Tap Room. It's over, near where I live over in DeLand. I was like, "Oh, okay." So went there, met with Jimbo, the owner, talked, and basically told him what I can do for him, and then what he can do. He let us set up flyers for our, events and stuff like that for Podcasting Network. We come there, he gave us a spot. He said, "Here's a spot. You can do a live show, or a recorded show." We actually, I sat in as a producer for Final Score. They did their first live show there. He let us get in on the Wi-Fi, and we were doing our first live. Final Score is doing their first live show there, and you can get on your phone there, and boom, he's like, "Hey," that's like, "We're live right now." And Jimbo walked over, and he's sitting there, and he's like, "Man, this is all technical." He's like, "This all looks, I don't know any of this stuff." I looked at him, and I was like, "Yeah, it's a lot, man." And he's like, "You're live, right? Everything good?" I said, "Oh yeah, everything's good." I pulled up my phone. I said, "Check it out. Check out the feed." He was like, "Oh wow." He's like, "I got really good Wi-Fi." And it's like, yeah. And he thought it was cool, man, because his business grew because with me, and then with Podcasting Network, as we got a lot of like local shows here in Florida, would come in and stuff and go there. We started bringing more people in, and we helped each other grow, and it's great. They just moved to a new location, and me and Chris went there a couple weeks ago, and wow, dude, the new location is bigger, and man, he has plans, and once they start going, man, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I want to tell you something about Chris Carnage. Man, that's a beautiful man.
He is a beautiful man.
When I finally meet him, I'm going to give him a big hug and a little peck on the cheek.
Nice, man. Nice. And we got, I'm not going to mention too much until it's actually set. We possibly have 2 new shows that's going to be announced here soon. That's joined the Podcasting Network. Two new shows, man. We're acquiring shows. We're expanding. Our PCN sports section has grown. Our ever longest running show, the Imaginarium, is going on. Our wrestling shows, Wrestle Popcast, Deathmatch Wrestle podcast, myself interviewing independent wrestlers, and then jumping over to pop culture side and stuff. I mean, talking about independent film directors,
and then soon, Everett Robyn's once a month show, The World of Pop Culture. I can just see it right now. Everett Lee, Robyn Nelson show.
I like it. I'm up for anything, man. I'm definitely up for anything.
I'm up. I always wanted to legit, man. I've been busy and all that, but I can do time for it. But I've always wanted to do a legit show with you.
We've done some shows before. We got good chemistry, man. We talk about.
But
everything.
Those are like specials. I'm talking about you and I, man. We can be the next Bob and Tom.
I like that. E&R&E,
Yeah, that's right.
E&R podcast. It's like, what's E&R?
Dude, we can be good, man. We can get some cool guests on, and we can cut up and
yeah, we can have a great time. We definitely can have a great time.
Sometimes once in a while, like I'll bust on the tiara. The queen is in. The queen.
Put me in a dress and I'll sing you a song.
I will do that. Don't tempt me.
Oh, damn. Oh, man. Robyn Nelson, this has been so great. And I've had a blast, as always, doing this and talking a lot of stuff with you. We had a great conversation here tonight talking about wrestling and pop culture and movies and stuff. And
also, you can find Robyn Nelson in Nicole Delisle, Horror Pop After Midnight on Podcast City Network at podcastcity.net. And you can listen to our shows every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, roostershamilton.com, Rooster Radio. And then you can catch me, over at Future Great Wrestling, if you're in the Hamilton, Ohio area, 190 North Brookwood Avenue, Hamilton, Ohio. Or you can watch our shows, Future Great Wrestling Shockwave, every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Subscribe. Or, if you're like near the Dayton area, you can see us on Dayton Public Access as well. And you can like me on my page, Horror Pop After Midnight, on Facebook and Twitter at Pop After.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much, Robyn Nelson. And
exactly.
That's pretty much it for the
wait, hold on. You gotta catch it.
They didn't switch over to the camera, my producer. You didn't switch over the camera. Do that again. We missed it. So go ahead and do that again.
Next time.
You're not going to do that again? He switched the camera over. There we go. We got it. Thank you, producer. Thank you. So, Everett signing off. Everyone, thank you for viewing.
Oh, one more thing before you sign out. Make sure you kiss your mother. No, make sure you kiss your dog and hug your mother.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading this audio episode or viewing this podcast. We'll see you again next time on The Everett Lee Show.